You need everyone in your family to simultaneously cooperate for the addict to have a chance. That is absolutely untrue. It would be wonderful if we can get everyone on board, but we don't need everyone. All we need is one person, and that one person is you. Let me share that with you. Oftentimes, life-changing philosophies are very difficult for most people. When you've been used to living a certain way and doing things a certain way, and you fit into a dynamic and you've played your role, it's very difficult to get you to change. So what you and most other people do is they look around to see how many other people they can gather, because collectively making a change feels safer. But I want to tell you, when it comes to addiction and dealing with addicts, all it takes is one person to make that change. And you could be the spark for the entire family to eventually join you on this slow process of detangling this mess that has been created between the addict and you and your family. I also want to tell you that you might have some anger coming your way, because not everybody will be done like you're done. See, you're looking and searching and watching these videos because you're looking for answers. You've done everything you can do for your addict. You've spent all the money you can spend. You've given all your time. Your personal life is suffering. Your business life is probably suffering. You haven't felt happy for a very, very long time. You feel isolated, alone, confused, desperate, mad, and sad. And I want to tell you that I can help you with that. It's a long road. It's a very private walk that you're going to walk. You're going to experience a lot of different emotions and feelings, and you might not see any results initially. In fact, it might get worse before it gets better. So are you ready for this? Because there is no other way. Let me say that again. I've been doing this for 30 years. There is no other way. We must stop bailing the addict out of their jackpots. It is high time that the addict feel the consequences of his or her own actions. See, in my opinion, there are two types of problems in the world. Only two. One type of problem is what life brings to your doorstep and to my doorstep. We don't have any control over that. From the time that we're born, the deal is, from the time you take your first breath, that anything can happen to anyone at any given time without any apologies or heads-up warnings. That's how life functions. So the problems that life brings to my doorstep or to your doorstep, we can't complain about because it's fair for everybody. Everybody's in the same pickle. The other type of problem is the ones that I create for myself, or you create for yourself, or your addict creates for themselves. Those we do have some control over. As a human being, I should have control over what I do. As a human being, you should have control over what you do. And as a human being, your addict should have control over what they do, except they have the disease of addiction that has taken that control away from them when they first use mind or mood-altering substances. But you and I are not using mind and mood-altering substances. You and I understand and see the addict the way he or she doesn't see himself. And there's an old adage that goes like this: he who has the understanding simultaneously has the responsibility. I'm sorry to put this on you, but if you're the only one that sees what you see, you have an enormous responsibility to respond appropriately, responsibly. You are not made to get this addict out of jam after jam after jam after jam. All you're doing when you do that is reinforcing their lifestyle and the way that they live. And basically, you're saying it's okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're always telling them they need to change and they need to do things differently. Addicts don't care about what you say. What speaks the loudest is what you do. And what you've been doing is picking up the tab for their mistakes. How are they going to change? So I know that you want them to change, but what I'm telling you is if you're the main person in their life that is supplying their comfort, their convenience, it's up to you to take that away from them. Because unless you do, comfortable and convenient addicts do not recover. They're having their cake and they're eating it too. Some know this consciously, some don't know it. But it doesn't matter whether they know it or not. What matters is that you know it. Now, I'll give you this. You're probably thinking, Eric, I don't know how to do this. This is too big. This has been going on for decades or years or months, and I just don't know what to do anymore. So when I get that call from him or her at 2 a.m, I panic. And in my state of panic, I do what I've been trained to do. And I'm telling you that I'm here for you, that instead of reacting and doing what you're trained to do, we have to take that moment and you have to do something different, not them. You're the only person that you have control over. And aren't we asking them to change? So isn't it fair that we should begin the change? After all, we are the lifeline that keeps their delusions alive. You're financing everything. You're paying for everything. They live under your roof. They drive your car. You pay for their cell phone, their health insurance, their everything. You pay for everything. You have the power. But guilt and manipulation has you trapped. So I want you to do me a favor, okay? I want you to write down everything that you supply for the addict, from food to housing to auto insurance, car payments, anything that you provide financially for the addict. I want you to make a list of that. And I want you to take a look at that. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. If you took all those things away from the addict, would they be forced to do things differently?